Yeah, today, March 1st, 2025. Y'all gotta stop capping on me, man. The only reason I look in that picture.
After Canelo Álvarez helped train Errol Spence ahead of his anticipated rematch with Terence Crawford, Crawford fired back, taking shots at both fighters. He claimed that Canelo would suffer the same fate as Spence when they eventually face off in the ring 5 months from now. Crawford mocked their alliance, calling it laughable, and stated that Spence was never a real threat to him, regardless of the circumstances. Taking to X, formerly Twitter, Crawford trolled the duo with a simple message: they cooked. Spence's training with Canelo was a strategic move to join forces with one of Crawford's past opponents in hopes of increasing his chances of winning. Terence Crawford didn't have much of a problem with that. What triggered a response from Crawford was something Canelo Álvarez did after training. Following a session with Errol Spence, Canelo Álvarez made a controversial statement that awakened the beast in Terence Crawford. While discussing their upcoming fight in September, Canelo questioned Crawford's undefeated record, claiming he had actually lost his bout against Madrimov after moving up in weight, and warned that he should expect even harsher punishment this time.
Man, stay fit, man. You need? Yes, sir. And it's not tucked in. It's tucked in. I mean, it could happen. I mean, why not? If Crawford wanna challenge himself to be great, let him try to be great. You know, so you know what I'm saying. I'm with it. So you know, I'll be going for it. You know, if he fight Canelo, I'll be going for him. I mean, I don't know if he's gonna win or lose, but
in August of last year, Crawford took his first tentative step into the 154-pound division to challenge WBA world champion Israel Madrimov. The tricky bout ended Crawford's 11-fight stoppage streak, as he secured a unanimous decision win over the Uzbek title holder. It was a close contest, with Madrimov doing everything he could to make things difficult. After the fight, promoter Eddie Hearn claimed Crawford hadn't done enough to take the belt, a sentiment echoed by Canelo Álvarez. Speaking to the media, Canelo said he believed Crawford lost the fight, or at best, it could have been a draw. For me, I think he lost. He lost the fight, or a draw. It could go the other way, Canelo said. Now he knows why weight classes exist.
Crawford, I think if anybody can pull it off, he can pull it off. He's chasing greatness, so why not? Canelo came up to 175 and you know that, and fought Kovalev and fought the other guy too. So I mean, if he can do it, he started at 147. So I mean, if he's doing it, why can't?
According to CompuBox, Crawford outlanded Madrimov by just 11 punches by the final bell, landing more in 7 to 12 rounds. He was also the busier fighter, throwing 433 punches to Madrimov's 275. The judges scored the bout 116 to 112, 115 to 113, and 115 to 113, all in favor of Crawford. Since then, Madrimov has suffered a decision loss to Virgil Ortiz Jr., stalling any hopes of reclaiming the title. Meanwhile, Canelo is set to face Skull in just a few weeks, while Crawford stays focused in the gym, working on adding 14 pounds in the most efficient way possible, aiming to deliver what could be remembered as one of the defining victories of the modern era.
Is there ever a possibility where you would rematch Errol Spence? Or is he in a position where he needs to win again before that makes sense for you?
The possibility is there.
The boxing world has been eagerly waiting for Errol Spence Jr.'s return to the ring. Once hailed as one of the sport's brightest stars, the truth has been sidelined for over a year following his defeat to Terence Crawford. It's been a tough road, and although talk of a comeback has been ongoing, no fight had been confirmed. Rumors of retirement began to swirl, which Spence quickly shut down, but doubts about his return persisted. Now, after months of uncertainty, there may finally be a light at the end of the tunnel. Oscar de la Hoya has stepped in, offering potential opportunity for Spence to make his return in a major way. Virgil Ortiz Jr., currently de la Hoya's top prospect, is coming off a dominant win over Israel Madrimov and is ready to take his career to the next level. However, after 2 consecutive high-stakes fights, the Golden Boy is looking to slow things down slightly for his rising star.
For his title, I'm fighting for a title. And there's the possibility. He win this fight, God willing. I win my fight, God willing. And there's your possibility right there.
In a recent interview with Fight Hype TV, 52-year-old promoter Oscar De La Hoya revealed plans for a homecoming fight for Virgil Ortiz Jr. at the Dallas Cowboys Stadium. Virgil's coming off 2 tough fights, which can take a toll on both the body and the mind. De La Hoya said, "I'm thinking about doing a homecoming event for him in Dallas, have him fight a top 10 guy, then go after Sebastian Fundora, and finally target Crawford when he drops back down to 154 after facing Canelo at 168. De La Hoya's concerns for Ortiz's well-being are understandable given the level of competition. Still, this situation opens the door for a huge opportunity, one aimed directly at Errol Spence Jr. De La Hoya wants Spence to be Ortiz's next opponent. And he's not just offering the spotlight, he's promising a solid payday if the fight comes together."
Do you believe maybe that you'd prefer to Ortiz on that undercard with a view to then fighting Crawford maybe after that?
That's a great idea. You're a promoter now. You're a matchmaker. Let's go. Yeah, I love it. Look, having these types of fights on one night is just great for boxing. That's it. So imagine that. Wow. Crawford.
"There are so many options on the table for Virgil, and I'm excited," said De La Hoya. "Just imagine putting together a Virgil Ortiz versus Errol Spence fight at Cowboy Stadium. That place would sell out. It's definitely something to consider. Ultimately, the decision lies with Spence. This fight could be the perfect stage for his comeback. A sold-out showdown against one of the hottest names in the welterweight division, followed by a potential title clash with a longtime rival. Last year, rumors of Sebastian Fundora versus Errol Spence fight captured the spotlight. Fans were buzzing about the possibility of a hard-hitting war between the two, but when the WBO declined to sanction the title bout, the fight was shelved. As a result, Fundora, despite holding a world title, was left inactive for nearly a year. Now, it seems Fundora is ready to move past the setbacks. In a recent interview with Boxing Scene, he expresses eagerness to face Spence, saying, "Of course I want that fight," clearly excited about the potential matchup.
Do you believe maybe that you'd prefer to Ortiz on that undercard with a view to then fighting Crawford maybe after that?
That's a great idea. You're a promoter now. You're a matchmaker. Let's go. Yeah, I love it. Look, having these types of fights on one night is just great for boxing. That's it. So imagine that. Wow. Crawford.
Fundora couldn't hide his disappointment over how things had unfolded in recent months. "It's a big fight, a really big fight. But of course, it didn't happen," he sighed. After that setback, the unified super welterweight champion bounced back with successful title defense against Cordell Booker on March 22nd, earning a 4th-round TKO victory. Following that impressive win, he's now likely to face the WBO's top-ranked contender, Xander Zayas. While there are still many moving parts, if everything aligns, a potential showdown between Fundora and Errol Spence Jr. could happen in late 2025 or early 2026. However, it all hinges on Spence, how he's feeling and when he's ready to return. Until then, talk of this matchup remains just a dream.
Canelo, Virgil. I mean, it'll be the Super Bowl of boxing.
If you are waiting around on that, who is it that you're going to match him with?
I don't know. I have to literally go back to the office and just figure it out. So, yeah, Virgil winning here in Riyadh was huge against Madrimov, the beast.
Canelo, Álvarez, and Terence Crawford are on track for a massive showdown later this year, one of the most anticipated matchups in boxing today. Both fighters are considered among the top pound-for-pound talents in the sport, adding even more excitement to clash. Álvarez has only suffered 2 defeats in his career, one to Floyd Mayweather and the other to Dimitri Bivol. Now, Mayweather's former manager, Jay Prince, believes Crawford is poised to hand Canelo his 3rd loss. The bout is expected to take place at super middleweight, meaning Crawford will have to move up 2 weight classes, as his most recent fight was at 154 pounds.
The beast. Wow, the beast. I truly feel that Virgil now is on a different level.
Final one from me. What did you say to Eddie Hearn in the aftermath of that win tonight?
Oh, good. Just, good fight. That's it. I mean, I think I'm 0-20 now, so... Or no, Eddie's 0-20. I think he's 0-4 or 5 with me, so... It's okay. We're just chipping away. We're going to have losses too. We're going to have wins too. But I think tonight...
While Álvarez may hold the weight advantage, Jay Prince believes Crawford has the skills to get the job done. Speaking to Sean Zittel, he said, I believe Crawford beats Canelo. I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. Crawford is one of those guys. Prince made it clear, however, that he has nothing but respect for Álvarez. Of course, we can't say anything bad about Canelo. He's one of the very best. But that's just my opinion, he added.
What's important is that both fighters came out good. Everything's good. Virgil won. Great fights. Great night for boxing.
This is the final one. You spoke to me the other day. You said that Virgil's first fight, he said to Jerry Jones, he's going to sell it out.
Yeah.
Do you think it's a reality?
Absolutely. 1,000%.
Jay Prince also dismissed concerns that adding extra weight might affect Crawford's performance. He stated, "I don't think the added weight will hurt Crawford. From what I've seen watching him spar and in the ring over the years, he has no wear and tear, and he knows exactly what he's doing." While Canelo Álvarez is powerful and has spent considerable time fighting at super middleweight, giving him a better feel for the division, Crawford, who typically fights at a lower weight, has shown his exceptional skill. Before anything, Álvarez must first take care of business against John Ryder on May 3rd, aiming to reclaim his status as the undisputed super middleweight champion with a win. Meanwhile, Terence Crawford, never one to shy away from a challenge, is potentially on the brink of his biggest fight yet. Talks for a September showdown against Canelo at 168 pounds are heating up, a fight that could see two pound-for-pound greats face off in a clash that could define this era.
Okay. Hey, John, I don't have much time left with you, so I appreciate the time that I've gotten with you. I'm curious to get your insight on a fight coming up between Terence Crawford and Canelo in September. Crawford's moving up a few weight classes to meet Canelo. Just your insight. How does Crawford cross that bridge? How does he nullify the weight difference and get a win against Canelo?
I don't know.
Not everyone is fully convinced about the potential Canelo versus Crawford fight, especially Nigerian Boots Ennis, one of boxing's most exciting rising stars. Ennis is preparing for his own big test against Imran Stanionis this weekend. But even with his own fight looming, Ennis took the time to share his thoughts on the Canelo Crawford hype, and he's not exactly handing out blind endorsements in a recent interview with Fight Hub TV. Ennis raised a red flag about Crawford jumping up 2 full weight classes. "I think Crawford should take a warm-up fight at 160 just to get a feel for what it's like fighting a bigger guy," he said. Ennis didn't hold back, pointing out the challenges Crawford faces. Canelo's been at that weight for a while, and he's been taking out big guys. Crawford's smaller, and Canelo's been stopping dudes who come in at like 200 pounds on fight night. While Álvarez may not be a natural super middleweight himself, he has a history of hurting and finishing opponents much bigger than Crawford. That's something many in the boxing world are keenly aware of.
That's like a 50-50, 60-40. You gotta lean towards Canelo because he's been at the weight for a long time now, and he been pitting big guys out and things like that. And Crawford a little smaller. So I don't know. We gotta see how it play out come whenever they fight. When they supposed to fight, September or something like that.
September.
Yeah, we gotta see how it play out. We don't know. It's boxing. But I think you gotta lean more towards Canelo because, like I said before,
Others in the boxing world have expressed similar concerns. Timothy Bradley told BoxingScene.com that while Crawford might be the most complete fighter right now, the size difference is something that can't be overlooked. "It's a real jump," Bradley said. Crawford, however, has never lacked confidence. On Max on Boxing, he made it clear, "I'll fight anybody, any weight. That's what greatness is about." For fans, that mindset is exactly what makes this potential matchup so intriguing. The big question remains, can elite skill overcome elite size and power? Crawford may be one of the best technicians the sport has ever seen, but if he goes straight into a fight with Canelo, he'll have no room for error. Canelo, on the other hand, has faced a number of big-name opponents like Floyd Mayweather, Miguel Cotto, Shane Mosley, and Sergey Kovalev, 3 of whom have been bitter rivals, including his clashes with Gennady Golovkin.
Guys out and down, and Canelo not even really at 68, and he probably really should be at 60, maybe. And he been hurting these guys. I think he be dropping these guys and things like that. So them guys be way bigger than him come fight night. I know that for sure. They be probably close to 200 pounds, and he dropping those guys like that. So I don't know. It's gonna be a great fight. The fans want to see it. So
Álvarez and Golovkin faced off over a span of 5 years, beginning with their first encounter in September 2017, which ended in a controversial majority draw. Many believe that Golovkin, The Kazakh star should have been declared the winner. A rematch took place a year later, with Canelo securing a narrow points victory. The third fight in 2022 was arguably the most definitive, as Álvarez won more comfortably on points. Recently, Canelo signed a 4-fight deal for the upcoming season, with the first bout set for May 3rd. He will face IBF super middleweight champion William Skull in an attempt to reclaim the undisputed super middleweight title. One person who has first-hand experience in preparing a fighter to challenge the Mexican champion is Abel Sanchez. Sanchez, who coached Gennady Golovkin in both his fights against Canelo in 2017 and 2018, has valuable insight into the task at hand.
I think it's a ridiculous fight myself. I think that Crawford is too small. Canelo is, in my opinion, the face of boxing right now. I think that look at his resume. I think it's a good fight for a little while. Crawford's hand speed will, just like when Golovkin fought Kell Brook, the hand speed was evident at the beginning of the fight, but as the fight goes on, Canelo's going to start pounding on him, and I think that the fight ends somewhere between the 9th and 12th round.
Veteran boxing trainer Abel Sanchez recently spoke with Fight Hub TV, offering his insights on various upcoming matchups in the sport. One fight he discussed in particular was a potential clash between Canelo Álvarez and Terence Crawford. Sanchez explained why he believed the fight will be a mismatch for Crawford, saying, "I think it a ridiculous fight. Crawford is just too small. Canelo is, in my opinion, the face of boxing right now. Look at his resume. He's at the top of the sport. It'll be an interesting fight for a while, and Crawford's hand speed will be noticeable, just like when Golovkin fought Kell Brook. But as the fight progresses, Canelo's power is going to start wearing Crawford down. I see it ending somewhere between the 9th and 12th round. Anything Canelo hits him with is going to hurt. Crawford won't be able to catch him early, despite his hand and foot speed. Crawford is a tremendous fighter at his own weight, but when he fought Madrimov in his last fight, it was clear that weight matters. No matter how much Crawford tries to bulk up, moving to 168 pounds will make a difference."
You really think because of the size difference, he can stop Crawford?
Well, absolutely. Absolutely. I think that anything Canelo hits him with is going to hurt him. He won't be able to catch him early because, like I said, the speed and the foot speed and the hand speed. And Crawford's a heck of a fighter at his own weight. 54, when he fought Madrimov in his last fight, showed us that he can't really, the weight makes a difference. I don't care how much weight he gains and how much he does to try to get up to that level, 168.
What's been going on, Terence? Talk to us for a little bit.
I got somewhere to go, man.
Yeah. We follow you for just the time being?
Yeah.
You guys supposed to do interviews over there?
Yep.
Talk to him. Mario, don't I got an interview with you?
They haven't told me that. I would love to have an interview. I haven't had an interview with you, a proper interview, in a year and a half.
What's up, man? What you got?
Yeah.
It's a ridiculous fight, Abel Sanchez said, reflecting on the potential bout between Canelo Álvarez and Terence Crawford. "I've been saying this for a while. Crawford is a great fighter, but he's been the same fighter from 135 to 147. He hasn't made any adjustments to compete at higher weights. Canelo, on the other hand, has evolved. Crawford hasn't been destroying his opponents. Sure, he beat one guy who was past his prime, but Canelo is dominating everyone he faces, destroying them. Crawford's not doing that. Yes, it's a big money fight, but it's not a real contest. Virgil Ortiz has made it clear that he'd like to face Crawford if he moves back down to 154. If Crawford does fight Ortiz after Canelo, the 27-year-old fan favorite believes Crawford's undefeated record won't stay intact. Speaking to the Ring magazine, Ortiz predicted, "I see a clear win for the naturally bigger man. Just to be honest, Crawford's too small. I know he just weighed in at 180, but putting on weight and actually fitting at that weight are two different things."
You move up to 154. How much stronger are you feeling? How much better are you feeling at 54?
I feel great. I feel strong. I feel motivated. You know, I'm just ready to go out here and do my thing.
Yeah.
Tell us about the back control of Eddie.
Oh, Eddie.
Yeah, you look a little heated there.
I ain't heated.
No.
Eddie just be throwing rocks and just saying anything that comes to his mind to make himself sound, I don't know.
I could understand if Crawford were facing someone of lesser caliber, but we're talking about Canelo here. The guy is a real talent. He's been dominating boxing for a long time. Abel Sanchez said, "I think Canelo will win this fight clearly." He continued, explaining why Crawford's style might not work against Canelo. Crawford gets hit, and he can't afford to do that against someone like Canelo. I know I'm going to get some hate for saying this, but Crawford does get hit. He gets hit clean sometimes, just like everyone else. If you get hit clean by Canelo, that's a serious problem. It's not good, no matter who you are. And Canelo's fast. He's not a slow puncher. He'll catch you off guard. It's just different. And that's all for now, he added.